Hello my dear students. This video is for standard 6th, subject General Science. Students, today we will be starting with new chapter, that is chapter number 7, Nutrition and Diet. This video is module 1. My name is Ms. Jagjit Kaur. Students, before beginning with the module, let's see what are the learning objectives. So in this chapter, you will be learning about nutrients and foodstuffs. In nutrients and foodstuffs, you will be learning about carbohydrates, fats, proteins, fibers, minerals, vitamins, classification of vitamins such as water-soluble vitamins and water-insoluble vitamins. And you will be learning about probiotics. Students, can you recall by observing the given picture that which are the various groups of foodstuffs? Yes, the various groups of foodstuffs given in the picture are milk and milk products, fruits, green leafy vegetables, other vegetables such as tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, chilies, drumsticks, etc., oils, meat, fish, eggs, cereals and pulses, etc. And which main constituents of food do we get from them? Yes, we get nutrients such as carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, fats, fibers and minerals. Students, as we know that every living organism requires food and water for various purposes, and the constituents of food which are useful for living being are called nutrients, and the process of intake of food and water and its use for the normal growth of the body is known as nutrition. Now students, let's see what are the uses of nutrients. So the uses of nutrients are, with the help of nutrient, living organism will obtain energy. Then with the help of nutrient, there will be a normal growth of the body. Nutrients can help to fight against diseases, and also nutrients can help for the normal functioning of the body. Students, in our previous slide, we learned that the constituents of food which are useful for living beings are called nutrients. And nutrients are present in different food materials in different proportions. Food provides energy in the form of heat, which is measured in kilocalories or calories. Now, what are calories? It is a unit of energy often used as a measurement of the amount of energy that food provides. And what are kilocalories? Kilocalories are generally referred as calories. We can say that kilocalorie is a unit of energy of 1000 calories. That means 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1000 calories. And also, children of growing age need approximately 2000 to 2500 calories from the food they eat. Foodstuffs that we eat have different constituents that are useful to us in different ways. So the different nutrients or the constituents of food are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, fibers, minerals and vitamins. Now students, the food constituents like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, fibers that are required in large quantity by our body are called as macronutrients. And the food constituents like vitamins and minerals that are required in small quantities by our body are called as micronutrients. Now let's learn about carbohydrates. Students, as we know that our main need is of energy, and that need is fulfilled by carbohydrates. Hence, our diet includes a large proportion of cereals in the form of rice, chapati or roti, bhakri, and bread, which contain carbohydrates. Cereals are our staple food. Now, students, what is staple food? It is a food eaten regularly, even daily, and supply a major proportion of a person's energy and nutritional needs. Now let's learn about fats. Some part of our energy requirement is also fulfilled by fatty foods such as oil, ghee and butter. We get energy in the form of heat from the food we eat. And heat is measured in kilocalories. Hence, the energy in food items is also measured in kilocalories or calories. And children of growing age need to get approximately 2000 to 2500 calories from the food they eat. Now let's learn about proteins. As we need proteins for the purpose of growth, then repairing the wear and tear of the body and for other life processes. Now what do we mean by wear and tear? It means damage. We get protein from the sprouts, milk and milk products, meat and eggs in our food. Now let's learn about fiber. Fiber is mainly a carbohydrate. The main role of fiber is to keep the digestive system healthy. And students, fiber is found in cereals, fruits and vegetables that we eat. Now let's learn about minerals. Our body needs several inorganic substances, and those inorganic substances are called as minerals. Now students, even though minerals are required in small quantities, their deficiency can cause various harms to the body. Now what do you mean by deficiency? Deficiency means shortage. Now students, you can see the table. In this table, we can see the examples of some minerals like iron, calcium and phosphorus, iodine, sodium and potassium, and it provides information about their functions in the body, the various sources of the minerals as well as the diseases caused by their deficiency. So the first mineral is iron. The function of iron is to carry oxygen to all the parts of the body. The main sources of iron are meat, spinach, apples, raisins. And the deficiency disease caused is anemia. Now what is anemia? Anemia is a decrease in the total amount of the red blood cells, that is RBCs, or hemoglobin in the blood, or a lowered ability of the blood to carry oxygen. Now the next minerals are calcium and phosphorus. The main function of calcium and phosphorus is to strengthen bones and teeth. And the sources from which we get calcium and phosphorus are milk and milk products, green leafy vegetables, meat. And the deficiency diseases caused are bad teeth, brittle and weak bones. Now the next mineral is iodine. Iodine controls growth, speeds up chemical reactions in the body, and the main source of iodine are raisins, beans, fish, seafood, etc. And the deficiency disease caused is goiter. Now what is goiter? Goiter is a swelling in the neck resulting from an enlarged thyroid gland. Now the next mineral is sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium maintains the body's water balance and functioning of the muscles and the nervous system. And we get sodium and potassium from salt, cheese, leafy vegetables, fruits, pulses. And the deficiency this caused is inefficiency of muscles. Now students, let's learn about vitamins. Casimir Funk, a scientist from Poland, Europe, read in a scientific article that the people who eat brown rice are less prone to get the diseases beriberi as compared to the people eating fully milled rice. Now students, what is milled rice? Milled rice is also called as white rice that has had its husk, bran and germ removed. This alters the flavor, texture and appearance of the rice and helps prevent spoilage and extend its storage life. After milling, the rice is polished, resulting in a seed with a bright, white, shiny appearance. Then later, Casimir Funk isolated and identified the substance which prevents the disease. He named this substance as vitamine. Further, he also demonstrated that the diseases like scurvy, rickets and pellagra are due to the deficiency of various vitamins. Now students, scurvy is a disease due to the lack of vitamin C. It is mostly bleeding of gums. And rickets is usually due to inadequate of vitamin D. In rickets, there is softening and weakening of bones. And pellagra is caused by lack of vitamin B3. And the symptoms of this disease include inflamed skin, diarrhea, sores in the mouth. Even though vitamins are required in less amount, they are very essential for the body. Now students, you have to note that scientist Casimir Funk coined the term vitamine, which was later known as vitamin. Students, vitamins are classified as water-soluble vitamins and water-insoluble vitamins. Now, what are water-soluble vitamins? Water-soluble vitamins are easily soluble in water. They are thrown out of the body through the water in urine and sweat. A regular intake of these vitamins is necessary. For example, vitamins B1, B2, B3, B6, B9, B12 and vitamin C. Now, what are water-insoluble vitamins? Water-insoluble vitamins are insoluble in water but are soluble in fats, hence called as fat-soluble vitamins. They get stored in the body. Intake of these vitamins is also important, but when consumed in excess, get stored in the body for long periods of time and generally pose a greater risk for toxicity than water-soluble vitamins. Now, what is toxicity? Toxicity is the quality of being poisonous. For example, vitamins A, D, E and K. Now students, let's understand the sources, functions and deficiency diseases of some vitamins. You can see a table. So let's see about vitamin A. Vitamin A helps in protecting eyes, helps to keep skin, bones and teeth healthy. The sources from which we get vitamin A are carrot, milk, butter, dark green vegetables, sweet potatoes, deep yellow fruits and vegetables. And the deficiency diseases are night blindness. It is an inability to see in dim light, and xeroderma. It is a disease of dry skin. Now let's see about vitamin B1. Vitamin B1 helps in proper functions of nerves and heart And the sources from which we get vitamin B1 are milk, fish, meat, cereals, nuts, pulses. And the deficiency disease is beriberi. It is a nerve disorder and muscle weakness, or call it as inefficiency of muscles. Then vitamin B9 helps in the growth of the body, and the sources from which we get vitamin B9 are deep green vegetables, papayas, kiwis. And if there is deficiency of B9, vitamin B9, then there will be improper growth, can cause anemia, forgetfulness, and slow movements. Then comes vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 helps in the formation of red blood cells, and the sources from which we get vitamin B12 are meat, milk products. And the deficiency disease caused is anemia. Now next is vitamin C. Vitamin C protects body tissues, formation of collagen, a protein essential for gums, teeth, bones and skin. And the sources from where we get vitamin C are amla, kiwi, oranges and other citrus fruits, cabbage, tomatoes, green leafy vegetables. And the deficiency diseases caused are scurvy, which is bleeding of gums, thyroid malfunction, delay in healing of wounds. Then the next vitamin is vitamin D. Vitamin D absorbs calcium and phosphorus for healthy bones and teeth. We get vitamin D on exposure to sunlight. Vitamin D is made in the human body from some substances in milk, fish, eggs and butter. And the deficiency disease caused is rickets, which is softening of the bones, causing pain and fractures. Then the next vitamin is vitamin E. Vitamin E helps in smooth functioning of metabolism inside the cells, reproduction and maintaining efficiency of the muscle cells. And the sources from where we get vitamin E are wheat germ, green leafy vegetables, tender leaves, vegetable oils. And the deficiency diseases are weak muscles, obstruction in reproduction, skin disorders. Then the next is vitamin K. Vitamin K helps in clotting of blood. And the sources from where we get vitamin K are green leafy vegetables, green cabbage, broccoli, sprouted pulses, yellow of eggs. And the deficiency diseases is excessive bleeding after an injury. Students, always remember that some vitamins are very sensitive to light and heat. Therefore, foods rich in vitamin C should be eaten raw as they are easily destroyed during cooking. Students, in 5th standard, the chapter Methods of Preserving Food, you have learned about food and microorganisms. So now let's learn about useful microorganisms. Now we know that milk is converted into yogurt. Now how this milk is converted into yogurt? Milk is converted into yogurt by some useful microorganisms, and they are called as probiotics. Now lakhs of such useful microorganisms are present in our intestines. Now their presence in such large numbers is essential for our health. And we should eat foods such as yogurt and buttermilk daily as they contains probiotics. The number of useful microorganisms in our intestines is reduced when we suffer from loose motion and vomiting. Some medicines also can destroy them. So we should consume yogurt and buttermilk to restore these probiotics. Now students, this was the end of module 1. Let us summarize what we have learned in this module. So we learned that nutrition is the process of taking in food and water and using it to obtain energy for the purpose of growth and other bodily functions. There are 6 main constituents in our food, namely carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. These useful constituents are called as nutrients. Carbohydrates and fats are energy-giving nutrients. Proteins help in growth and repairing the wear and tear of our body. Vitamins and minerals are required to improve the body's resistance to disease and other life processes. Our body also needs minerals like calcium, iron, iodine, sodium, potassium, phosphorus, etc. Some vitamins are water soluble and some are fat soluble, that is water insoluble vitamins. Then along with other nutrients, our body also needs water. Now students, here is an assignment for you all. So the first question for the assignment is, you have to choose the correct alternative. So for that, the first question is, which of the following is not a water soluble vitamin? And the options are A. Vitamin A, B. Vitamin D, C. Vitamin E, D. Vitamin C. So which is the correct alternative? Yes, it's D, that is vitamin C. Then the second question, deficiency of vitamin A causes dryness of the skin. It is also known as dash. So the options are A. Scurvy, B. Xeroderma, C. Beriberi, D. Goiter. Yes, the correct option is B, that is Xeroderma. Then the third question, rickets is caused due to the deficiency of vitamin dash. So the options are A. Vitamin K, B. Vitamin D, C. Vitamin A, and D. Vitamin B9. Yes, the correct answer, the correct option is vitamin D, that is option B. Then the second question for the assignment is, underline the correct word. The first question for that is, yogurt contains harmful or useful bacteria. So students, here 2 words are given, that is harmful and useful. So you have to choose the correct word. So which is the correct word? Yes, it's useful. So yogurt contains useful bacteria. You will be underline useful. Then the second question is, deficiency of vitamin C results in rickets or scurvy. So which is the correct answer over here? Yes, scurvy. So you will be underline scurvy. Now the third question for the assignment is, match the vitamins given in group A with their functions given in group B. So students, here you have to match group A and group B. So in group A, the vitamins are given. The vitamins given are vitamin B12, vitamin A, vitamin K, and vitamin E. And in group B, various functions of the vitamins are given. That is protection of eyes, clotting of blood, reproduction, formation of red blood cells. So you have to match the vitamins with their respective function in group B. Then the next assignment question is, answer the following in one word or one sentence. So for that, the first question is, how much calories do children of growing age need to consume? The second question, why deficiency of vitamin K causes excessive bleeding after an injury? Then question third, name some milk products which have useful bacteria in them. Then the fourth question, name any two citrus fruits. Question number 5, name the disease in which bones becomes soft due to the deficiency of vitamin D. Thank you, dear students. I will be back with module 2. Till then, goodbye and take care.